Hey guys, I am back with another travel talk for you today. Now, the last video was quite a lengthy video, so I didn't really get into a whole lot of details about how I picked the cruise that I picked. And so I really want to discuss that with you in this video and kind of go through my thought process. And I think how people do this, it could be relatively the same, but it might be a little bit different. So I just want to share with you what I do and just talk you through it. I really wanted to film the computer as I went through the process. I tried that, it did not work well for me, so I'm just going to talk to you today instead of showing you a lot of stuff on the computer. Anywho, let's go ahead and get started. So what I typically do first when I'm deciding that I'm looking for a cruise, I start out by like, where's my destination? That's like the number one thing. I've learned that from the very first cruise. You got to know your destination first. So I knew I wanted to do Europe again. I love Europe. I've loved the countries that I visited. It hasn't been that many countries, but I love doing that. And so I was originally debating between Scandinavia and the Mediterranean. Now, I sincerely 100% want to do Scandinavian cruise. I think that's going to be the next one after maybe a Caribbean and then Scandinavian. I'm not sure right now, but I really want to see it, but for whatever reason I keep being drawn back to the Mediterranean because that is what I've seen before. I love it, and there's so many places that I've been that's like, oh, I want to go back and see this there, or I want to go do this. And so this will be my fourth trip to Italy, and I love it. And so I just keep being drawn back there. So I knew that I kind of eliminated Scandinavia pretty quickly, and then said I want to do Mediterranean. And so I was doing this, kind of weighing it out. I was like, I really want to see Greece, but I love Italy a lot. And so I want to go back. So I was looking for something that kind of combined the two, and I narrowed it down to 2 cruises. So fairly quickly, it was super easy for me to narrow it down once I chose my destination. So it was kind of like Italy and Greece won out. And so what I did was I opened up different windows on my computer. I went to the internet, and so I just opened up, I Googled Carnival Cruise Line, then I opened up another one and Googled Norwegian Cruise Line, and then I think I may have Googled Royal Caribbean. And so I quickly narrowed it down between Carnival and Norwegian. So those were the 2 I was in a debate for a long time over that. It was a few days before I finally settled. And so I was going to bring up, I did take a photo so I can tell you. And so the Norwegian line, the particular cruise, was a 10-day Eastern Mediterranean and Greek Isles from Rome. So that was the cruise. And so here's where it goes, the ports. It starts out in Rome, so you embark from Rome. It goes to Mykonos, Greece, Athens, Greece, Rhodes, Greece, Santorini, somewhere in Crete, which is also Greece, Malta, Sicily, and Naples, and then back to Rome. So that sounded fabulous to me because I was going to be able to go to Rome, one of my favorite places, and then even though Naples isn't my favorite place in Italy, it allows me to get to one of my most favorite places. When it ports in Naples, you can get to Capri very easily from Naples. So I was thrilled with that, but I was like, oh, I don't get to go to Florence in this one, which is another one of my favorite spots, but I get to see all these places in Greece. And then I also want to see Malta. I think the reason why I wanted to go to Malta, I was watching a House Hunters International. I know that's really random right there, but they were doing an episode in Malta, and I was like, oh, I really want to go see Malta. And I believe they also speak English as one of their major languages there. And so that's good for an American who only speaks English and a teeny tiny bit of Italian, not very much at all. I wouldn't even say I speak Italian. I know a few words. So I was looking at that one, and then I was looking at the one from Carnival. And so the Carnival one leaves from Barcelona, then it goes to Florence, Italy, Rome, Italy, Naples, which I can go to Capri, Italy, Croatia, Greece, Corfu, Greece, Sicily, Malta, and Sardinia. And this one is a 13-day cruise, and then back to Barcelona. And so I was going, which one do I do? The prices were relatively comparable. The Carnival was a little bit more expensive because of the fact it's 13 days instead of 10 days. And so I was debating. I said, I can see Barcelona, which I've been to before, but I really wanted to go back to Barcelona. Or I can see a lot of the Greek places, but Greece is also included in the Carnival, so I get to see a lot more places. So the Carnival one had more stops, longer cruise, which I love. But the other one had a lot of places in Greece that I wanted to see. I really wanted to see Athens. I wanted to go to the Parthenon. If you're not familiar with my channel, if you're new, I live in Nashville, Tennessee. And Nashville has a Parthenon at Centennial Park, and it is a replica of the original Parthenon. And I was like, oh, I want to go see the original one. And then I wanted to go see Mykonos, and I think did I say Santorini? I think I did. And I was like, I want to go see those beautiful, beautiful places. So yes, Santorini, Mykonos, Athens, Rhodes, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was getting ready to book the Norwegian one. I was like, you know what? I've been to Barcelona before. I kind of checked that off my list. I will be able to go see Rome and Capri on both of those, and I wanted to see Malta. Malta is on both of those, so I was going, you know what, go for the Norwegian. But then I also do one other thing that I've kind of learned to do. This is not that big of a deal, but I decided to Google the ships specifically because I like to know if they're new ships or older ships, and I prefer the new ships. It's just something that I do prefer. It's not really that big of a deal, but I find there's more amenities on the ships, and so I Googled them. So I Googled the I don't know, maybe it doesn't matter which one I Googled first, but the Norwegian one is on the Norwegian Spirit. And it was built in 1996 and launched in 98. So I'm planning on taking this cruise in 2018. That is the plan right now. And I'm like, it's going to be 20 years old in 2018. I was like, oh, that is an older ship, a real older ship. It's kind of like, when are they going to retire the thing? And I don't even know how long they cruise before they retire ships. Usually they sell them to other cruise lines, and then that's what happens. I don't know if you guys know that, but a lot of ships are sold and they're taking out of commission from one cruise line, and they are sold to a smaller one. So just be aware that does happen. And so then I Googled the Carnival ship. I believe it's the Horizon, and I was like, oh my goodness, it is brand new. They are currently building it right now, and 2018 is going to be the first time they are launching this ship. And I was like, oh, it's a brand new ship. And I was like, that is what pushed me over the edge into taking the particular Carnival one. Now, that is nothing, I don't mean to say anything disparaging towards Norwegian. I love Norwegian Cruise Line. Probably one of my most favorite cruises was on Norwegian Cruise Line. It was on the Epic. The Epic, I believe, launched in 2010 or 11. I want to say it was 10 or 11 because I took the cruise in 2011, and I want to say it may have been about a year old when I took that cruise. I loved the Epic ship and highly recommend if you can cruise on the Epic. It usually cruises... It did, the one I did was Barcelona, Rome, Florence, Naples, and Palma de Mallorca in Spain. It was fabulous. So if you want to take that cruise, I highly recommend it. It was awesome. And so I was like, I love Norwegian. I love Carnival. I've cruised on Carnival more than I've cruised any other cruise line. And I love Carnival, but I also love Norwegian. So basically it was just the fact that it was a brand new ship. I'm going to say a wrong word in here in a minute. A brand new ship pushed me over the edge to take the Carnival. And it was also a 13-day cruise. And also, even though I only saw one place in Greece, I was going to see a lot more stops, or a lot more countries, I should say. And I love the fact that I get to visit multiple countries. So I'm going to start out in Spain. It's going to go to Italy. It's going to go to Croatia. It's going to go to Greece, and it's going to go to Malta. And that's 5 countries. And in the other one, I believe I was only going to go to 3 countries. Let's see, Rome, Greece, Malta. Yeah. So the other one was Italy, Greece, and Malta was the other one. So I was like 5 countries, 3 countries, and I'm like, so, you know, I kind of weigh it all out, but I still want to see Athens, I still want to see Mykonos, I still want to see Santorini, Rhodes, all of that. So we'll start out with Corfu. So I am, over the next several years, I am planning on doing a lot more traveling. In the past couple of years, for various reasons, I didn't travel that much. One reason was I started doing a lot more shopping, and I love the stuff I bought, most of it. If I didn't like it, I pretty much put it on eBay. But I want to do more traveling and be more, what's the word? I don't mean to use the word frugal, but be more conscious of where my money is going. And if I want to buy something and have it, like a handbag or a pair of shoes, I want to make sure that that is something that I really, really want, because I do typically buy only designer handbags and designer shoes now. That is nothing to say anything wrong with anybody else's. That's just what kind of where I moved into, but it's kept me from traveling. And also the second reason, with a lot of the terrorism that's going on in Europe right now, that's not to say it hasn't happened in the United States, but clearly, I mean, I would feel safer when you hear about something. You feel safer in your own city, because you're like, you know, bad stuff happens in Nashville every single day. People are being shot every single day. It's horrific. But I'm like, it's not happening in my neighborhood, and I'm like, I just stay away from where it happens. And I'm thinking, so, you know, I'm not afraid here. And I started thinking, you know, like, I'm not going to let those other people scare me, because where you do hear about bad things happening, it doesn't mean it's happening every single place in these places. And I had to think about that in respect of where I live today. I'm like, yeah, bad stuff happens in Nashville, but it's not happening where I live, so that's why I'm not afraid. And I'm thinking it's just the same in these other places as well, and I don't want to let other people scare me off. I apologize if you can hear one of my puppies. She's on the back deck and barking her head off right now. I probably need to check on her, but so that, you know, I hope that kind of in a whole idea gave you an idea of why I chose the cruise that I chose. There's going to be a lot more of these videos. I'm going to do a budget video. I'm going to do hopefully a packing video. I will warn you, with me and packing for trips, I pack like I'm never coming back home. So I literally take everything but the kitchen sink, which is not great for a traveler, but that is something I need to work on. So I still plan on doing packing. I plan on doing like an excursion type video and what I want to do. Talking about, I've ordered maps and to really study the cities that I'm going to see prior to going to the different ports, because some of the ports I plan on going and doing on your own. Not all of them, but Rome on your own, Capri on your own, and then Florence on your own. I'm planning on doing those 3 on my own. So I'm very familiar with Florence. It's an easy city to navigate. Capri's pretty easy. It's an island. Rome is one that scares me a little bit, but since I've been there, this will be my 4th trip to Rome, 4th trip to Florence. I feel like I'm comfortable doing it on your own, so to speak. So I really want to study and map out everything I'm wanting to see. So I'm going to do a video about what I'm listing everything I wanted to see. I'm kind of getting that now, but there's going to be lots of other videos. And so I hope you are enjoying this travel series. Thank you so much for all the kind comments on my last travel video. I really appreciate those so much. I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. Feel free to ask me any questions. I will do my best to answer them, or I'll tell you I don't know if I don't know. So bye guys. I'll talk to you later.